see. Hopefully it works in all the places. I think so. It says we're live and it says it's working in all the places. Oh, yay. Huzzah. Um, if you've ever been on live with me, you know that tech things happen continuously and we laugh them off, which is what Carolyn and I have just been doing before coming on for you guys. So, hello, happy Sunday, late morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Hello to whoever is just popping on. We are going to do something really special today. Free live mini readings, as you guys know. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Sue. In just a moment, I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn. This is my colleague and friend, Carolyn Wilkins. If you are a fan of the Spirit Speakeasy podcast, she was in one of the premiere episodes. So make sure you go check that out and you can hear all about her gifts and her amazing story and her authorship and all of the things. She's going to share some trance piano healing with us today, and she's going to talk to us about something very special in her practice, and then we'll dive into the free live mini readings. Hello and good morning to everyone that's saying hello. When we get to the reading portion of the show in just about 5 minutes or so here. Some of you, I can see your names when you comment, and some of you I can't. Hey, Rhonda. So, hey, Julia. So when you do say, I want a reading, or here's my question, we'll tell you in a minute. Just make sure you put your name in there too, so I can know who you are. Because like I said, some of your names show and some of them don't. Hey, Drew. And I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn now. She's going to do a little talk and some music, and then we will get going with mini readings.
Well, hello, everybody, and thank you so much, Joy. This is just such a pleasure to be able to be here on this beautiful Sunday. For me, it's afternoon. I know for you, it's still morning. But in any case, for those of you who haven't met me before, I will say Joy and I met a few years ago at an event with James Van Prague of mediumship, and we bonded instantly, and we always have kind of kept in touch over many years. Yeah. And what I do with my mediumship that's a little different is I'm also a jazz musician and a Reiki healer. And so what I have done with my mediumship is to kind of combine those three things: the psychic work, the healing work, and the music work in one thing that I call Akashic Piano Trance Healing. And I thought it might be nice to kick off our session today by offering you guys a little bit of this music to set the tone and the vibe. And I will say also that it just so happens that I am also a priestess of the African goddess Yemaya, who is the goddess of compassion, the ocean, and motherhood. And today, this week, actually all week, I'm celebrating 27 years since my original initiation. And as I do that, I like to talk about her and talk about my work with that. So I'm going to dedicate this particular piano trance that I'm about to bring you to the goddess Yemaya, and I'm going to ask her to guide me and to come through me. So it's a little bit of a channeled experience. And just for those that haven't heard the Akashic Piano Trance before, it's a little bit not like regular music. It's not like a song. It's notes and tones that make a vibration and that will elevate you by their vibrational frequency. So I'm going to pull a card to get us started from a beautiful tarot deck. This is African Goddess Rising Tarot, and this deck is filled with African goddesses, of which I mentioned Yemanja. She's one, but there are lots of others, and I'm going to ask for my guides and my team to show me what card would be great for us today as a group, and what characteristics would be helpful to move our lives onward and upward. And then I'm going to offer a piano trance. I'll go into a little zone and offer a piano trance to help us all get on the vibe, right? So I'm shuffling, asking, and remember, I've already said I'm going to dedicate this to Yemonja. So the card that has come is Ursuli Dantar. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, the Haitian version of Yemonja. She is a water goddess. She's celebrated at the ocean. She's big time feminine, and she's very powerful. Celebrated in Haiti at a famous waterfall where they go under the water and they worship and do like a pilgrimage at the water. So picture yourself at the waterfall. Picture yourself, or you could picture yourself at the ocean, right, with the beautiful waves of Yemonja lapping over you, the waterfall, any kind of water that you vibe with, and allow yourself to feel stress, tension, pain, suffering, anything you might be going through right now, allowing it to wash away. And I leave it to your choice whether you want it to wash it away in the ocean or whether you want to stand underneath the waterfall and let it flow. So I'm going to go into my vibe. You can close your eyes and we'll just take a few moments to just connect. So I hope you got a little healing vibes there. And this is once again the Haitian goddess of the divine feminine, and blessings from the divine feminine to you.
Wow.
So, Joy.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I have to tell you, I always receive really powerful healings from those Akashic Trance piano healings that you do. Even though they're short, they're so powerful. So for everyone watching, even if you caught us on the replay, just know that your energy is going to be processing that healing throughout the rest of the day. You might receive inspiration or feel connected in a different way. So thank you so much. And congratulations on 27 years of priestesshood for Yamaya. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So let me just tell everyone the format of what we're going to do. I know some of you have been commenting and asking questions already. So I'm glad you have them in your head. I'm not going to look at the ones that have already been commented. It's going to be from here out, and here's the format. So we're only going to be able to read for the messages that follow this format. Your first name, and then either your question, or you can say general message. Or any guidance or something like that. So either you have a specific question, someone else is congratulating you on your 27 years. So drop your first name in the comments and your question. And Carolyn and I are going to be taking turns, kind of alternating tandem style, pulling cards and using our psychic gifts. Mediumship is going to be at our event on the 19th. So for those of you wanting to connect with your loved ones in the spirit world, we can do that for you on the 19th. I'm going to drop the link in the comments in just a minute here. And then, of course, at the end, we'll be doing our group demonstration. So, Carolyn, I'm going to have you go first, if you don't mind. The first question we've got is from Drew, and she would like a general message.
All right, Drew. So the first thing that's coming through for me is that you have been, I would say, in a pretty hectic, busy kind of situation right now. There's a lot going on. It feels with you almost a little bit like whack-a-mole. You solve one thing and another thing pops up, and you solve and another thing pops up. And you can make a comment in the chat to let me know if it makes sense what I'm saying, but that's what I'm getting for you. And I feel that it would be awesome, Drew, if you could find a way to choose one priority, like one major thing out of all the things that are going on, because I feel it's popping up: family, work, everything, and maybe some health stuff too. Pick the one that is bugging you the most right now and focus on that one. I'm going to pull a card here, and I think I'll stick with the goddess cards for you. And let's see which goddess would like to talk to you and what she might like to advise you on your situation, Drew. So here we go. I'm shuffling and I'm asking which goddess will be most helpful for Drew to connect with, and what most needs to be known at this time. And the one that has come is Ayizan, and it says under there, miracles. Woo! That sounds awesome. And so what that says to me is that you know what needs to be done. Don't be shy to ask for the specific thing you need. Don't be shy to ask, but pick only one. Don't scatter your energy with 3 trillion things. Pick one thing, ask specifically, and then trust that your miracle is on the way. I hope that's helpful, Drew. You let me know.
I love that. There are so many comments that I won't be able to find Drew's comment right away because there are a lot of
Don't
people.
worry, doesn't matter.
Things. I'm going to come to Boone, who also is just asking for any guidance. And then Carolyn. Next, we're going to go to Adriana, who's also just asking for general guidance. So general guidance for Boone. I'm going to pull a card and we're going to see what we have. Oh, go with the flow. Let things happen. So I just love the imagery on this card. And we're coming up to a full moon on the 7th. You see that big full moon energy? As we're going with the flow, sometimes we're needing to let go. And we just did this amazing water healing, and look at this wave that is rising up to wash away whatever no longer serves you, whatever no longer belongs to you. Don't be afraid to just, as the message says, let things happen. We don't need to be so much in control as we think, because in fact, we're not. Just like when we're in the ocean, we're subject to the tide and the rise and fall of each individual wave. Take it as it comes. You can do this. And water often also signifies deep emotions. And this water is a little bit turbulent. So don't be alarmed if you're feeling some ups and downs, some turbulent emotions. They're rising up to give you the opportunity to process, look, learn, and experience more of your full true self. So that is the guidance for you today, Boone. And I would especially do some journaling or just some sitting around the full moon coming up on the 7th here. So lots of love, Boone. Thanks for being here. I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn for Adriana or Adriana.
Adriana, thank you, Joy. That's beautiful. And I will say, isn't it amazing how we got a theme going
So
here? We
amazing.
have Ursuli Dantor, we have miracles, and we have a ton of water energy and full moon. So, Adriana, carrying on that theme, I'm feeling for you that there has been a lot of stress recently around, particularly, I want to say, a work related issue, if that makes sense for you. And I'm feeling, once again, as the last card said, go with the flow. I feel like, in a way, that is also pertinent for you. I feel like you're a bit of a perfectionist, and that sometimes you get stuck on things need to be a particular way. And if they're not that way, I can't function. And you're being guided a little bit to just kind of lay back and let things be less than perfect, and not let that be such a drain on you. I'm going to go ahead once again with the goddess cards and ask what goddess would be helpful to serve you in allowing you to feel a greater sense of support and flow. And also, just which one is going to be your buddy and your friend at this time, Adriana. So the one that is coming is celestial alignment. Can you see that? First of all, these cards are gorgeous. They're so pretty. So celestial alignment, to me, that says, once again, that being in the flow is a lot about just kind of aligning yourself with the energy that is already there, and not feeling like you have to push the river, right? That you can let yourself be in the flow of what is there. Know that if you put yourself in alignment with your higher self, with your higher mission, when it comes to any job situation or stress situation, just lay back and trust that spirit will handle it if you can relax a little. So I hope that's helpful. Adriana, you can say later if the reading was helpful. I hope it was. I'll turn it back to Joy.
Thank you. That's great advice. I love listening to Carolyn read. Next, I'm going to come to Trista W. with the Purple Heart, and she's asking any guidance from my loved ones and guides. I will tell you, this will be more from guides than loved ones, because when I give guidance from loved ones, I like them to establish themselves so we know who it is, what your relationship is with them emotionally, so we can understand the guidance. But for those of you who are wanting to hear from loved ones in the spirit world, Carolyn and I do have what we call a gallery reading, or a demonstration of mediumship, coming up on the 19th. I dropped the link in the comments here, and I know both Carolyn and I have been posting about it. That's going to be around the same time of day, coming up on the 19th, and it'll be all mediumship. And we will do a general message that day too for anyone who doesn't get a reading, but lots of attendees will get a reading. So this is the message for you, Trista. Oh, again, such a beautiful card. I love that we're carrying on with this rainbow energy, but yours is a little bit more pastel, Trista. So what that tells me is you might feel like things are shifting in a very subtle way, like you're not noticing the big immediate changes that you're hoping for with all the effort that you're putting in. This message actually says animal bond, stand up for all animals. But what I want to say is, let's think about the energy of the bird, right? They use their intuition to know when to migrate, to know how to be in formation, to know how to move and shift with the wind. They're not taking any aviation classes to learn about this. It's part of their innate guidance system. And for you, Trista, I want to say your guides want you to know that you have the ability to fly. You just need to figure out how to lift your wings and soar, and to ride the energy of when it's time for momentum, when it's time for rest and nurturing yourself. And these colors let me know that shifts and movement are happening for you. They're just coming in a little more subtly than perhaps you would like. But that, for me, is part of the journey too, of your trust, of your understanding, and of your own deepening of your connection with your personal spiritual practice. So for me, that is the encouragement, is if you really want to be soaring and flying high, the answer is going within. So lots of love to you, Miss Trista W. And I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn for Bonnie, who also wants a general message.
Bonnie, so we have been in this theme of going with the flow and sort of trusting spirit, and that seems to be an overarching theme I feel for Bonnie. You have been actually pretty good at this. I feel like you've had recently some nice breakthroughs in terms of the way things are going for you. And what I'm hearing for you almost is just keep on keeping on. Don't lose faith. You had a burst where things were going really great. And then I feel like things have slowed down a little bit. And so it's a little, now you're starting to question or let your mind get in there and go, oh my gosh, am I doing it wrong or whatever? No, you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. You just need to relax and allow it to come in the right time and right place, and continue to invoke right time, right place. And I'm going to go ahead and see which goddess would like to speak to Bonnie right now about this. And the message is manifestation. Boom, look at there, manifestation. So what that says is you've been on the right track all along, just what I said. And now things are going to begin to show up in the material world, but you have to just keep on keeping on. Don't give up. Things are coming, and you have to just kind of be patient and allow them. It's just like you cannot run to the ground and yank the flowers up to get them to come any faster than they're going to come in the due course of time. This is the same thing, but it is very, very good, Bonnie. You're in a good place. Just keep doing what you're doing. All right, Joy, back to you.
All right. Well, I'm going to come to Wendy next. But let me just quickly, for anyone who's just joining us or who popped on after I gave the instructions, all you need to do, we're coming first come, first serve down the line. Just put your first name and either your question or general message, and we're going to stay a whole hour. So we're going to get to as many of you as we can. Wendy wants to know, will I have career change soon and with more wealth? Question mark. Now, I will tell you, Wendy, I don't believe anyone can predict the future. I don't think it's predetermined for us in that way, but we can talk about potential. And remember, you are a key ingredient in the mix here, is what I have to say. So I want to build on some of what Carolyn said when I am shuffling right now. What seeds are you planting? It reminds me of, you may know this movie from a book that Elizabeth Gilbert wrote, Eat, Pray, Love. And Julia Roberts' character is talking about kind of a proverb. And she says, the person is praying to God and saying, please, 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 I want to win the lottery. I want to win the lottery. And finally, God answers and says, please, please, please buy a ticket. So remember, a career change or more wealth is not just going to show up at your door. Some of it is wealth management and you showing this energy of, not being afraid around finance, making wise decisions around finance, cutting back where we can so that we can have more influx, and perhaps considering alternative streams of income. So it's many sources to build that wealth rather than just thinking only that kind of traditional way of one stream of wealth, because there might be other things that you can do coming in from the side or some little side projects. Let me give you this card that I have for you, Celebration, which I love, with this beautiful imagery, again, with the rainbow and the letting go. And it says, let go and have fun. I do have to tell you, there are a lot of animals in this card. So I'm wondering if perhaps some of what your gifts are include animals. I don't know what your career is now or what you're wanting to shift to, but what I do know is when we're talking about manifestation, which was Carolyn's card, we need to be in that energy of celebrating what we already have, what we do love. So for example, if you're just not crazy about your career, what do you love about it? What is wonderful about it? Because then you're telling the universe, God, whatever your belief system is, more of this. So what you appreciate appreciates. So you can be celebrating, you can be in excitement about whatever this new career change is that you want, this new stream of income or this shift in your life. And what are you doing to put it out there that you're available for this? Maybe if you're in a more of a traditional career, you're letting other people know through things like LinkedIn or, just floating out that resume and letting people know I want to talk about this. I have availability, for example. If it's a totally different career, maybe it's you immersing yourself in events or in, whatever it is for you. But community is so important in this shift that you're looking for, and putting yourself out there in new ways that aren't always so traditional and black and white, looking for the rainbow opportunities so that you can have a bridge to creating what you want rather than waiting for it to come. We're going to have to do some creation energy here and really help you manifest what it is that you want. But do I think it's possible for you? 150%. And don't get too hung up on timeline. Remember, like Carolyn was saying, we want the best opportunities for you, not just any opportunity. So really getting clear about what it is you want, what you're celebrating that you already have, what you want to create, and then finding community so that you can kind of like exponentially move that energy and create new opportunities that you're then going to seize step by step. So I hope that helps, Wendy. I do believe it's available to you, but I think you got to put your part in too, right? And I'm going to pass it back to Carolyn, and we've got Julia, who also would just like any guidance.
All right. And I'm being guided. Speaking of guidance, I hope this is okay, Joy, but I'm being guided, first of all, to pull another card just for the collective as a whole. And I'm sure, I'm not looking at the comments, but I'd be shocked if there weren't a whole bunch of you who are looking to manifest a change in the next, say, 3 to 6 months. This is a big time of energetic moving forward. There's a lot of energy, and I know many of us have dreams and visions and things we want to accomplish in our life purpose. And so what I'm being guided to do, and this would be for everyone, is to go ahead and ask my guides to select a card from the Goddess deck that will speak to creating new opportunities and some of exactly what Joy was speaking to. And then I'm also going to offer a brief piano meditation. So we just have a little intermission. We're about halfway in. Let's just take a pause. Think about the card when it comes, meditate on it, and think about how it can affect the things you want to accomplish in life, because I'm sure there's something. And while my guides play this music through me, allow yourself to visualize the ways in which you might move forward towards your new future in a new, better, new, improved way. So I'm asking to be shown the card that will be the card for us. And this card is Divine Lineage. See that? Divine Lineage. And the way that I take that is that we are all descended from spirit, right? You know, the Joni Mitchell song, We're Stardust, right? We are something magical already. This is who we are. This is our divine lineage. And when we connect with that, we are so powerful. And the dreams and the visions that are of our heart and soul are those that connect us with and are powered by this divine lineage. So I'll just do maybe 2 minutes, no more, of just music around this, and just close your eyes and take a moment. to feel the presence of your divine lineage stepping forward. So connecting in with your divine lineage. And now, who was I going to read it
For Julia.
For Julia, and it's a general reading, right?
Guidance, just any guidance.
All right, Julia. I do feel once again, the people on this call are some busy folks. All of y'all got a lot going on. Julia, I feel like particularly with family and children, it's been a lot to handle right now. I feel like there's particularly one child in particular, it's been a handful, and you've been a bit overloaded, overwhelmed. You can write me in the chat if that makes sense, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is the time, the card that we just had, divine lineage, you want to connect in with that part of you that almost rises above the fray. That's the expression I'm hearing, rise above the fray. Sometimes when you're in a situation, particularly in a family situation, there's a lot of back and forth and right? And sometimes what we need to do is to realize that we are in fact divine beings and almost like levitate up and look at the situation from a higher perspective and try to see maybe what is something that I could either learn from this situation, what is a way that I could grow from this situation. There's a saying, we're either giving a lesson, receiving a lesson, or just allowing a lesson to speak through us in a general way. And I feel that if you were to take a moment to just kind of focus in this conflict that you're in right now, what is the lesson and how can I rise above the sort of he said, she said of it and the back and forth of it? And so let's see what goddess could be helpful to you. And the goddess that is coming is liberation. Look at there. So in my view, this one connects directly with the divine lineage card that we just listened to, and with what I'm saying, rise above those things that you're kind of feeling like mired in and stuck. Don't let other people or other situations pull you down. Rise above and focus instead on your divine lineage, on what you can be learning from this situation, what they may be learning by being in conflict with you. And then if you can't think of any positive way to resolve, walk away and just say, okay, we're not going to talk about this right now. Whew, we're going to let it go. And I'm going to focus on my divine lineage because I know I'm a child of God. I don't know about you, right? So I hope that is helpful. Please let me know. But that's what I'm getting for you, Julia.
Well, I can tell you, Julia is a part of the Joy Soul Spa family. And so she does comment frequently and let us know what's going on and how things resonate with her. And I know she could take all that.
Oh, okay. Good. Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. I'm going to come next to Susan, who's also just asking for general reading. And I'm shuffling over here. And let's see what we got for you, Miss Susan. All right. Ooh, dragonfly, live life to the fullest. So I do feel like, if not for you, Susan, for someone here, the dragonfly is a little nod from someone. But I do want to say, let's think about the energy of the dragonfly, right? Because technically they're in the insect family, but they really masquerade as one of the most magical, creatures, almost butterfly like, but still kind of insect like. And I want to say for you, Susan, really know that you have this flex between these different parts of your personality. And it's okay to step into that version of you that you need to for any given situation, right? Depending where you are in this work, you could change your crown chakra or just imagine changing your hat, for those different parts of your personality. Do you need to be diplomatic, Susan? Do you need to be powerful and strong, Susan? Do you need to be hopefully always Susan who's working on great boundaries? I feel like that's important for you, but also just coming from a perspective of living life to the fullest and what that means for you. I just feel that you are such a giver and are always considering everyone else, what they might want, what might be, good for them in their lives. But what about you? And can you find ways to prioritize yourself with all of the green and kind of springtime energy that this card is giving? I want to say new beginnings just around the corner if you choose them, Susan. New, fresh opportunities. And with that energy of the dragonfly, look for the magic, right? Look for the unexpected. I feel like sometimes dragonflies just kind of show up out of nowhere, buzz right in. We don't know if it's a bee or a June bug, and then all of a sudden we see the beautiful dragonfly, and often they're gone right after that. So maybe you can hold on to the dragonfly as a little sign from spirit for you in this next little portion, as just a little affirmation or confirmation. Hey, you're on the right track here. But living your life to the fullest, with the dragonfly energy and looking for the magic, right? Looking for the magic in you, not just in the situations in your life, but in you. And back to that beautiful message that Carolyn just gave the collective, that divine lineage. If you truly believed that you were a child, a descendant of the divine, how would you live your life to the fullest? So that's the message I want to leave you with, Susan. I'm going to turn it back to Miss Carolyn. April wants to know, is the new guy I started talking to a good match for her?
Hi, April. Oh my gosh, exciting times for you, right?
Exciting
I
times.
feel like there's been a whole lot of newly awakened sizzle, shall we say, with this guy. And I feel that he's quite good looking and quite the charmer. And I know that you have been hoping to meet someone for quite some time. And what I want to say is, with this guy, I'm guided to say, you know how there's green light, red light, and yellow light? I feel like with this guy, it's a yellow light. It doesn't mean he's bad news, nothing like that. Have fun, enjoy, but don't let yourself completely just tumble head over heels. Despite his charm and his good looks, I feel like he's a great talker and he's interesting with a lot to say. Let's see which goddess would like to advise you on the new man, April. Let's see. And that is level up. Woo, level up. So he's a step up from your previous. And I know that you have been in a situation where you've said almost like you were in a relationship and it was like, never again will I do it this way. And so this guy is definitely represents a new level, but at the same time, just take your time. Don't rush. Don't, feel like you have to seal the deal right away or show over eagerness. Just let yourself just kind of feel into it. Move forward, but with caution and keeping the spark of joy. Keeping the spark of joy. Enjoy every moment. I know you feel way more alive and with a lot of sizzle right now. Enjoy that sizzle, but don't let that sizzle take away your common sense. All right. I hope that's helpful, April, and enjoy. Enjoy.
That is great advice. What a cool message for April. And just to remind you guys, for those of you wanting to communicate with your loved ones in the spirit world and to hear messages from them, Carolyn and I do have a live mediumship event that's ticketed. Coming on the 19th. The link is in the comment thread somewhere, and I'll post it again at the end. But for those of you who might be wanting to come to a mediumship event, we are doing that coming up on the 19th. Similar time of day. I'm going to come next to Kyle, who wants some general guidance. Now, full disclosure, I used to work with Kyle back many moons ago. He's a healer and massage therapist as well. That's where I know him, but we haven't caught up in years and years. So I have no idea what's going on in Kyle's life at all. Ooh, so beautiful. Self-reliance. Don't be afraid to fly solo. I have to tell you, I do feel like some of this relates to your relationship life, like romantic relationship, that it's okay for you to be in partnership and it's okay for you to be on your own. And just knowing that you do have, everything you need already, but sometimes we're just wanting the best match for us, right? And sometimes what we think we want and what we need are two totally different things. But even as it comes to, other relationships and other situations in your life, just knowing you really do have the ability to be self-reliant. Look at this radiance coming off of this beautiful queen here. And again, bringing it back to that general message that we do have this divine lineage, whether it's your healing gifts, your gifts as a massage therapist, as a body worker, whether it's you doing intuitive body work or starting your own business. It's okay for you to rely on yourself, your wisdom. I would say take it slow with these new changes that are coming in for you. We don't need to rush to judgment, whether it's about a work situation or a relationship situation. We can let things naturally unfold. And you do know what's best for you. You truly do. You don't need other people to tell you it's okay or to tell you you're good enough. You are more than enough right now, just as you are, just purely because of your divine lineage alone. And everything beyond that is just the way you want to express it and use those gifts in the world. I do know that you're doing the world a service with the energy healing and the other types of healing that you do, but really just knowing, don't be afraid to fly solo. It's okay for you to rely on yourself, your intuition, and trust what you know is right for you. So I hope that makes sense for you, Kyle. I'm going to pass it back to Carolyn with Emily Wilson from Canada. General guidance, please. She's also part of this Joy Soul Spa fam. We love our Emily.
Oh, Emily, lovely to meet you. So let me take a moment. What I'm feeling for you, Emily, right away, I don't know if it's because Joy mentioned that you're from Canada or something, but I'm feeling particularly for you. There's been either a desire to be in nature more, or you are in nature more. There's like a nature vibe around you, and I don't know if you're by a big lake or what, but I feel like there's this desire for open spaces and quiet and a deep connection of nature with you, and that this is a really important value for you. And if you haven't been doing enough of this lately, you get a little crabby. I mean, you're mostly a nice person, but if you don't get your balance of the fresh air and the nature and the quiet, I feel like also quiet is very important for you. And I feel like there's been a lot of jumbled upheaval maybe in your situation right now. There's a couple of people around you who are a little more raucous than you would like. And I'm feeling for you, it's very important to let yourself, don't apologize for needing your quiet time, your time in nature. Don't apologize. There was that movie a zillion years ago, Love is Never Having to Say You're Sorry. You don't want to have to apologize for needing your space. Take your space. It's very important to you. And the goddess that is coming for you is Oshun. She is a Yoruba goddess, and she is all about the feminine sensuality. She is about uh, divine sexuality, but she's also about self-care. And she's the goddess of the river. She's very much about beauty, about taking care of yourself and not letting yourself be sublimated to anybody else's beck and call. So if there's a situation where, and I do feel, Emily, you're a super nice person. So every once in a while, you might be in a tendency where, oh, I don't really feel like doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because la, la, la. Take a moment to really take stock of yourself. See what's going on for you and your inner self. Is this the right time? Or do I need time alone, time to sit by the river? This would be Oshun. And by the way, waterfalls, rivers, fresh water stuff belongs to her. Do I need time to do that rather than running around doing a bunch of stuff for other people because I'm nice? Nice is good, but sometimes it's about the self-care. And that is my message. I hope that is helpful for you.
Wow, that's great. Thanks. Love that. I'm going to come next to Trina, also general message. I love all these general messages. I love doing general messages. Okay, this card for you, Trina, is knowledge. So, what I want to say is it says seek knowledge. There's two ways to seek knowledge, outside of us and within. And I feel like it's a dual message for you. So, seeking knowledge about the things you don't know about or the things you want to know more about from people that you trust, from people that are experienced in these areas, and then taking the information, the wisdom that you receive and taking it inside and asking your own soul for validation of what of this applies to you and how, what you should take on board and what you can release, right? Because we don't need to take everything that we learn on board. It's just what resonates with us and with what we are working on at any given time. Now, I do want to say she does have this beautiful book and she's looking at all of these different experiences. There's an angel here. There's people meeting on a path. There's what looks to me to be some kind of pearly gates of heaven type situation. So I do want to say, I feel like some of your questioning, some of your longing for knowledge and wisdom has to do with the spirit world, has to do with how our loved ones communicate, how they spend time with us, understanding that transition process more. So don't be afraid to seek wisdom from trusted, reliable sources, I have to say. Remember, we're wanting knowledge and wisdom, not just any old information. And again, you are the strongest compass for discerning whether something is true and resonates within you. I love the name of Carolyn's company, Resonant Wisdom Reiki, because it's like, is it resonant in your body, in your soul, in your system, or does it not quite sit right for you? And that's the ultimate wisdom. That's what to do with all of this knowledge that you're gaining, discerning, learning for yourself. Take it inside. And that's what transitions to true wisdom, to true understanding and deepening of the knowledge that you receive. So I hope that makes sense to you. I'm going to show you this card one more time just because there is so much going on in here. Lots of questions to be answered. The other thing to know about knowledge and wisdom is a journey. And it's what we can receive and process and understand at this moment. And then, perhaps a month, a year, 10 years from now, you understand things to a different degree through your experience. And as we change, the knowledge and the wisdom that we have changes and grows with us. So it's a journey, girl, not a destination. I'm going to pass it back to Carolyn with Yvonne A. General message.
Yvonne A. Oh my gosh. So, first thing that's coming up is I feel like you're at a bit of a crossroads, Yvonne. You've been pursuing like one thing very diligently, and I do feel you're a very diligent person. If you set your mind towards something, you do it, and you've been headed down one path, and now you've reached a point where it's possible that something else could open for you, but it would require you to almost let go of the direction you've been going and go in a slightly, it's not totally different, but it's somewhat different. It's like, it's not like a left turn, it's more like a fork. And I feel like you've been pondering this for some time. And although you're very stubborn and dedicated to moving forward in this straight ahead way, there is a part of you that's gone, oh, I wonder if there's something else I might enjoy a little bit more. And I'm encouraged to guide you to consider ways that you could explore even more joy with what you're doing. And this new possibility, whatever it is, may open something a little more. Just explore it a little bit. You don't have to completely, I don't feel like you totally have to absolutely commit to one or the other yet. So take a moment to at least consider or explore new possibilities that may be opening for you soon. And I'm going to go ahead and see what goddess might be good for guiding you in this way. What does Yvonne need to know? And that is brazen. Woo, brazen. Look at there. Oh my gosh, brazen and shameless. And I do feel there comes with that brazen the full courage to go ahead and step into what you really want, regardless what other people think, what other people say, or even how much work you've already put into this other thing. The brazen part says, I'm going this way. What the heck? I just feel like it. So consider at least the possibility of allowing yourself to be a little bit more, I don't want to say reckless, but I do feel you're a very cautious person, and I'm a cautious person myself, so I fully get it. We don't want to just be out there being reckless and stupid. But if you're feeling the call of your soul to do something, and even if it's a little bit different from the normal way you normally go, this card would encourage you to maybe take a little risk and at least investigate it at least a little bit. So I hope that that's helpful, Yvonne. Once again, please leave. I'm doing these readings without any idea of whether they are helpful or not. So if it is helpful, be so kind to drop a note in the chat. That would really make my day. But thank you so much. And back to Joy.
Yeah, I'm going to go back through and read the chat after. I am afraid that if I leave where we are in the lineup, I am never going to find my place again.
Understood.
And we've only got time for a couple more. I'm going to come to Dawn. Again, for those of you who are interested in mediumship, Carolyn and I have an event coming up on the 19th. I'm going to drop the link again in the comments so you can see it and watch for both of our posts around that. That's going to be a full mediumship event where we'll be giving details and messages and communications from the spirit world. So I'm coming to Dawn. This is kind of a long question. My husband and I have been working on trying to have a baby for a long while now. While my question would normally be about that, I'm wanting to try to address the financial stress that we're having instead. I feel like this may be a big factor as to why the baby hasn't happened yet. Can you give me some guidance as to what my best move is to bring in more income? I have a few different avenues. I'm not sure which one is going to pay off. Thank you, ladies. You're welcome. Well, I will tell you, if I had time with you and it was a kind of a one-on-one reading, I would break those avenues out and look at them all separately for you. Obviously can't do that because we just don't have the time, and I don't have your quick responses in the way I would need live action style. But I'm going to pull a couple tarot cards for you and just do a quick little read on this. Okay. It's going to be a little tough for me to show the cards here, but I have to tell you, the one card that comes up is essentially crying over spilled milk. So are there some avenues that you're hanging on to that aren't flowing anymore, that are something that you just, you know how sometimes we're like, oh, I put so much time into this, I don't want to let it go, but you know the energy's not there or it's not flowing forward. I'd be just aware of that in your space. Is there something that needs a refresh? And we do have this. This is essentially the hanged one is the way they say it in this, and we've got. Let me show you straight up, King of Swords, but this is reversed. So what this is telling me is it's not going to work for you in this situation to be coming all from the head. Swords is air, so it's all mental energy and no heart, right? It's like you're going to need to dip down into the emotions. Where do you feel the energy stronger with these different avenues that you could pursue? Where do you feel the energy moving? And are there opportunities that you haven't considered yet? What this hanged one is indicating, we need to look from a different perspective. Right? So we need to be looking at, is there an avenue that perhaps you haven't considered yet? And without knowing what your general field is, this is tough, but maybe it's, for example, if you're an artist, maybe it's you being willing to put certain pieces at different stores or different boutiques or locations. Maybe it's you building an online catalog as part of that. Maybe it's you putting yourself out there in different ways. I used to have a friend that was an artist, and he would hang his artwork in coffee shops with a little tag on it to say how to contact him or how much it was. But, just for people to enjoy the art, but also if they wanted it. So really just looking from all the different perspectives here. I will tell you the last clarifier that I have for you. First of all, so magical, so much full moon and rainbow energy like we've been talking about. This is gratitude and appreciation. Don't forget that there is a magic, a serendipity, something more than just us and what we have control over. And the encouragement I want to give you around this life that you're wanting to bring into your family is, it doesn't matter how they come in, right? There are lots of little souls out there, whether they are birthed through your physical body or through another's, and you are the parent of that child. It is the love and the nurturing that matters, and not necessarily how we get to that part of the journey, right? So perhaps it could be you releasing some in the work, we call it perfect pictures of what you thought it had to look like, or, when we were a kid, that dream vision that's often from movies and not real life that doesn't actually exist. And is there resistance there? Is there control there that you can work on relinquishing, that you can work on easing up on, and just accepting whichever avenue works best in that scenario too, and not necessarily needing it to look a certain way. I know that's kind of general, but it's a little tough to get more specific on these threads. So I hope that is helpful. Lots of love to you, Dawn, and to your family. I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn. I think we've got time for a couple more. Let's do Heather, who would like targeted wisdom general message. I don't know exactly what that means.
Targeted wisdom general message. Love it. Covering all bases.
Yes.
And I would say, Heather, that is your personality in general, is to be thorough and to be complete and to try to make sure that you position yourself in the highest and best way always. And I love that. I think it's a great attitude to have moving forward. Definitely to feel that you don't need to worry so much about if you are going to get yours, so to speak. What is meant for you is already on the way. Remember that we had this thing about the divine lineage. Remember who you are. And once you are that, then whatever comes, you can make use of by being aware that it's going to be the lesson and the message that you need, trusting that Spirit is going to be with you at the right time and right place, Heather. And I will say that is definitely on the drawing board for you. By the way, when I heard drawing board, are you visually gifted, Heather? Do you draw? Do you paint? Do you do something like that? I feel like any kinds of visual arts or crafty kind of things that you do are going to be really fun for you. I don't know that they're necessarily going to make a lot of money, but they're going to bring the satisfaction that you need to keep going. And you're the kind of person that satisfaction is very important. So look for those little things that bring the spark of joy, without needing necessarily that they bring in money or that they bring, just look for the joy first and then carry on. I'm asking which goddess is going to be helpful. And this one is the goddess of masks. Look at there, masks. And so what that says to me, I'm back to, in your case, making stuff. I don't know if you do make stuff, but I feel like you have a gift of arts and crafts and making things. Masks also could refer in a more metaphorical way to sort of the face that we put on and the illusions that we sometimes put forward for people. But I do feel for you, it has to do with making stuff. So you'll have to tell me later if that's true. But that is the wisdom. If it is, keep on keeping on. If you don't make stuff, but you've been thinking, oh, that might be fun, check it out. Meanwhile, I want to do one more thing here. I had a friend text me, and so area code 813, and the question is there anything exciting coming to me this year in my spiritual work? So, Joy,
Yes.
since this is a friend of mine, I'm going to throw it to you. Area code 813, asking about her. I think it's a her. It could be a completely different friend. They figured they're my friend so that I know who it is. I actually don't know who it is, but it's area code 813. So Joy, take it away. Her spiritual work. What do you see?
I will say that I feel like the immediate answer is yes. Of course, there will be exciting things for you in your spiritual work this year. I do have to say, though, remember, we have this ebb and flow in our life. And I'm drawn to an episode of the podcast I did early in the year, 7 themes for a 7-year, talking about really making sure this year that we're in touch with our own personal spiritual practice and fine-tuning that spiritual and personal development practice with whatever works right for you right now, because sometimes we can get off kilter with what happens in the world, with what happens in our lives. And it is that practice that's going to keep you grounded and kind of that slow and steady wins the race feeling, for one. On the other side of that, there is this feeling too of, sometimes exciting things happening. We only think of it in the big, big bursts of events, the fireworks type of events. It's not the sexy part of the work, to be quite frank, but the emotional and personal development is the core of the work that will move you forward to these big events. So if you are wanting big excitement, big things, fresh energy coming in around your spiritual practice, make sure that you are diligent and keeping in with doing your personal development, doing your spiritual practice. That's what makes space for these new wonderful things to be coming in. So I just want to throw all that out there at you first, which you may already know. I do have a card for you as well. This is so perfect. Big picture energy. That's what we got here. So that's what I want to say for you with, it's so perfect actually with what I just said, because as we're looking at our exciting things coming, we'll look at the big picture. How does this pertain to my work as a whole? And look at your work more as the life body of your work, right? Not just in this year, not just in this phase or this season, so to speak, but the body of your work as lifelong. And so, yes, there's always things that are unfolding and leading to other things. But when you're in the busyness of the details and feeling like you're bumping up against walls in the dark, the place to go is back to your spiritual practice, back to that emotional and personal development, and back to the big picture. Sometimes we get so right up on our own stuff that we can't see the big picture. So just taking a step back, if you do have, this spiritual work, asking spirit to help you understand how these uncomfortable, prickly parts have fit into the big picture of your work. And perhaps it's you moving through them so that you can help others and assist others move through their own journey. Remember, the rainbow energy is always about support and change and new beginnings. And look at these beautiful flowers growing as a result of this big picture energy that we've got. So I hope that makes sense for you, 813. And let Miss Carolyn know and she will tell us. Unfortunately, we're already over time. These go so fast. I'm sure we will do another event like this in the future, just for the fun of it, if nothing else. I did drop the link again in the comments for that event that Carolyn and I have coming up on the 19th, which is at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, 8 p.m. UK. And that is in honor of the spring equinox, that new spring energy that we're bringing in. Carolyn's going to again offer us some Akashic Trance piano healing. But if you are into mediumship, those of you that have asked about your loved ones on the other side, that is the event for you. Carolyn, I want to turn it over to you for any last thoughts that you want to share with us.
Oh, thank you so much, Joy. This has just been super fun. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have. And I will just echo Joy's thing. Of course, we wish that we could have gotten even more readings done. But I will say, if you're enjoying these readings, we will be March the 19th. We will be doing mediumship. And Joy has put the link, so please come and join us. I'm going to do some more Akashic Piano Trance healing. And meanwhile, we take with us the message of divine lineage and our connection to spirit. I think that's a beautiful message for all of us to take with us today. So thank you for coming.
And Carolyn, tell them where to find you, because they're on my pages now, but you do these mini readings kind of frequently, actually, and I love watching them. So let them know.
I do. Thank you. Thank you, Joy. Yes, I do from time to time come on and do a Facebook Live, and you can find me on Facebook either at my Resonant Wisdom Services page or Carolyn Wilkins, either one of those pages. I also am on Insight Timer. If you go over there and you look for me, you can find me. And of course, you're welcome to visit my website, carolynwilkins.com, if you're interested in a one-on-one reading. And I do the mediumship, I do the healing work, and I do the psychic work. So I hope to see many of you, and especially March 19th. It'll be great to see you guys.
So excited. Well, thanks for being here. We got lots of love in the comments for us, lots of things that resonate. We will go back through and read the comments, guys, later. So sorry we didn't see them all today live, but lots of love and thanks to everyone who joined. We hope to see you guys at our event on the 19th. Free community healings coming up on the 14th. So make sure you're on the list to be getting the notifications about that. Oh, Sandy's here. Hey, Sandy Hamner, who we both know and love. Lots of love to you. Big hugs, lots of love. Thanks for being here. And we will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.